Okay, now that we've had a little time to reflect and share about what we were discussing about modeling research skills and using the three key questions approach in the keyword search process, we are going to move along to the next section of our workshop. As mentioned, is the database demonstrations or demos. So, there are several school databases out there, and today we're going to explore two of them: Britannica School Elementary and Gale in Context Elementary. Okay, now both of these do not require login credentials and can be accessed free from the Novell NY website for all New York State residents. So the web link provided here and this page or this sheet is also available for you on the PD website, where you can download it and use it as a reference, or use it there to be able to access the databases if you don't want to type it directly in the search engine. Okay, so we're going to click on that and it's going to take us to, it should be taking us to this main page, which is the main page for Novell NY. And what we want to do is navigate to the option here where it says for students, and that'll take us to all of the databases that are available for students. And here at the kind of middle, we have options for elementary, high school, and middle school. So obviously you can pick the one that is applicable, but in our case, we're working with elementary, so we will stick with the elementary tab, and that gives us these two options for these two databases, which are Britannica School Elementary and Gale in Context Elementary. So let's start with Britannica. So that takes us to the page, the Britannica page. Now, when we are searching here, actually, are any of you already familiar with Britannica School Elementary? Used it before, maybe? Okay, not many of you, but that's totally okay. That's why we are here today. All right, so I've clicked on Britannica and we are in now. And as you notice that the login credentials are not required as mentioned earlier, so that makes it really easy to use. This database is fun and interactive, and it's great for students in kindergarten through fifth grade. You can browse through areas like articles, images, videos, biographies, news articles. It's really really intuitive and really user friendly for students, especially young students. There are also interactive pieces, which basically give students some information on different topics that are curated through collections of images and information related to specific topics. So here, for example, we would click adaptations, and it shows us some pictures about how animals adapt to their environment. And then if you scroll through, it gives students some additional information on, different things related to animal adaptations. So students can interact with it, they can scroll through it and read it. It's pretty engaging. Okay, so there is, now to go back to the home page, we would just need to click here, the elementary icon there up on the upper left, and that takes us back to the home page. Now there are also some read aloud options. So we clicked on biographies. We're going to go in there, show you just the read aloud features, which is pretty cool for younger students or even English language learners. That can be really helpful. So for example, we would click here if we want to read about Hank Aaron. Now if you're not sure, like maybe your students are young students and they don't, really want to read, or what have you, there's the read aloud option. So you can click on there, then you click on the play arrow, and it'll
On April
actually
8th,
read it for you.
1974,
So
Major League Baseball star Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run.
Okay, so it's like an automatic reader that helps students as well with reading. So that's a pretty cool option. Okay, so you can search for topics here. The search bar is really bold and right big in your face for students to be able to access it quickly. So let's see let me show you how the search function works. So it's a very basic search, but it's a great way for students, especially at the elementary level, to learn and practice searching skills. So let's say I need to search for animals. So let's say specifically I want to search for endangered animals, right? So I'll type endangered animals as my sort of keywords because I use the graphic organizer, the keyword search graphic organizer, and identified that the best keywords, at least from what I gathered, to use were in order to find like a potential list of endangered animals was the two words endangered and animals. So let's give that a shot and see what we get. All right. So I get that. And so we scroll down here and this shows us how many pages of results we get. So we got 7 pages of results. So that's a lot. So those are perhaps not the best keywords to use. But we can try to narrow that down. And again, this also goes into teaching students about trial and error, right? If the first set of terms or words that we use doesn't work out or doesn't give us the best results or what we're looking for at all, then it's good to keep refining our keywords. Okay, so I am going to try to go back and refine that. So we'll go back to the home page. So I'm going to type endangered species because working through the graphic organizer for the keyword searches, I remembered, we're using synonyms and or variations or words related to the word that we're looking for, right? So species, right? So instead of animals, I thought, okay, let's try species. So I'm going to try species. So I typed that and let's see what we get. We hit enter and let's see what we get. All right, so we're going to scroll to the bottom and okay, it's a little better. Gave us 5 pages of results instead of 7. So this just shows, how we can keep further refining our search in the database by using stronger keywords to get more precise results. So we can model this for our students so that they learn skills of effective researchers. Now, you can also sort of filter the results that you get by the type. So this is articles. Okay, it's clicked on articles. So these are all articles related to the topic. Or to the search. And images, these are all only images, and so as you can see, it's 3 pages of that. Or videos, we can search for videos. So you can filter the type of source that you're looking for. They also have this reading level here, which I don't really have a lot of guidance as to how this corresponds to current reading levels, but the option is there. Okay, so there are also some resources for educators up here, but where are they here? So like lesson plans, but unfortunately it looks like we have to have an account to be able to access that. So, but at least it's good to know that that can be possibly accessed and potentially worth looking into. All right, so when you do a search, it also lets you sort of, select the type as I showed you about like what the source is, or you can view it. So for example, you can, figure out if you want to prefer with articles or pictures, or doing that. Okay, now I think I'm just going to show you one more. So I'm going to search for capybara and see what results come up. So we're going to do that and search capybara. And again, this just goes back and shows you all of the results related to articles. And as you can see, there are not that many articles. Images, and you would click that as I mentioned, and it shows you the few images that are available. So that's where it shows you all of the different types of results. Okay. So if I wanted to only see videos related to capybaras, then I would click on there. Okay. So that's a really high level walkthrough of Britannica School Elementary. Does anyone have any questions or want to look at anything else? No? Okay, everybody's good? All right, fantastic. So now we are going to move along to the next database, which is Gale in Context. Okay, so we're going to go back to our database. My apologies. Oh, sorry about that. Here we go. No. Okay, here we are. So we're going to move on to Gale in Context Elementary, which is right here. So we're going to click that and we're going to open that. And that takes us to the main page of Gale in Context Elementary. So same thing as you saw, we access it from the Novell NY website or with the direct link, which is on the access guide that is provided for you. So this is the database, and as you can see, we also don't need any credentials to log into this database. So now Gale in Context actually has an advanced keyword search, which is not available in Britannica. But this advanced keyword search function is a great way to teach and have students practice how effective searches can be when we refine them. We can, on this database, we can also search by topic. So you can search by topic, which is all listed down here in different areas, and students can click on them, animals, and then you can click on birds, for example, and then that will take you all through birds, and you can find out all different information, specific types of birds, and so on. So go back to the main page, the home page, and we just click on elementary as you saw up there, and that takes you to that. So similar to Britannica, Gale in Context also has, you can search by topic, by news articles, you can search by images, which they have a whole collection of them, as well as videos. We can click on, for example, we'll go back to topics and we'll click on plants, for example, and let's see that because it gives you like subcategories or subtopics of plants. So let's look at specifically trees. Okay, now we want to then maybe narrow that even further down. So let's try to click on palm trees because I'm actually looking forward to some warm weather. So let's look at palm trees. And it gives us results for different types of sources where, content related to palm trees is found, including related topics, maybe not directly palm trees, but related topics as well. So it gives us a little bit of a sort of snippet here, or some facts about palm trees. And it's a little portion of it. So if you want to keep reading, you actually want to read more, you click on this button and it actually gives you the full piece on it, which is really great. And there's also a great feature which is about like how to source the cite the source, or like source citation, which is really also helpful. But we won't dig too much into that part because this time around, because we're just going to be focusing on like sort of like the beginning or the more kind of beginner level skills on this database. So we can definitely dive into that at another time. All right. So there's also, let's go back to where we were on palm trees. And you can also see, as you can see, that there's the different sources are listed on here. So that is fantastic. All right, so let's go back home. We can go back that way as well. And we already searched by topic there. Now, there's another option, browsing for topics, which is right here. And it takes us actually to a long list of different topics that students can actually choose from. So that's another way to do search. This is maybe not so, I guess, enticing for students because, there's no visuals or images, but it is another way to search by topics. All right, so let's look at the search feature, which is the search bar is up here on the upper left. So students would type there. So let's see what happens here when we type endangered animals in this database, just to get the basic search out. And we get 42 results in magazines and 4 results in news articles. So you can also filter out the types of results here on the right, which is a pretty cool feature. You can sort it by publication date or document type, so that you kind of narrow down what you're seeing as far as your results. So that's another pretty cool way. So we did get 42 magazine articles and 4 about news on endangered animals. So that maybe wasn't the best set of keywords to search for, but let's try endangered species like we did last time. Okay, species. There we go. All right. So similar thing. It gives you the results, and you can scroll through them. Okay, so that's pretty intuitive. Let's take a quick look. I know we're running out of time, but let's take a quick look at the advanced search here. And to see, that's actually a good way. It gives us even more results. So it teaches you to search for one term, and then it gets you, if you want to search by keyword or the different sort of areas that word would be pertaining to. So let's take it to keywords, and let's look at endangered animals. Actually, species. Let's go back to species, right? And then it actually gives you the option to also, you can do either or, right? So we can teach students, so you can do this and this, or this and not this. So those are the different drivers, so we can work through and teach our students on how those work. And you also have different options on how to filter out your results. So if you want to look at it by publication date, or documents that contain images and so forth, you can do that as well. We're just going to do a basic one right there. And as you can see, we actually get a whole lot more through the advanced search. We get a lot more results available through there. Okay, so I think that's about it. And, the key is just, again, to model for students about how we can keep troubleshooting our searches in order to get what we're looking for, to get down to what we're looking for. So that's about all the time that we have for demos. Does anybody have any questions for that? No? Okay, terrific. So we're going to just take a few moments to just pause and reflect about, maybe any questions that we have about the databases. Do you potentially see one being better suited for your students over the other, and why? Or do you have any questions about the features or navigation of either or both of the databases? And any thoughts or comments? Okay, great. Let's share out.